As you start to set up your digital marketing campaigns, you're going to find out that almost as important as how you sell and what you sell is who you sell to. Because if you want to get paid to solve expensive problems in any industry, you're going to have to be able to communicate your solution to those problems in the language that the person experiencing the problem is speaking. And the best way to do that is to plan everything out ahead of time. I've got a process I use for my clients whenever I start in a new industry that I'm not familiar with or with a new product I've not marketed before that helps me break down exactly who my perfect client is, what problems they're experiencing, how I can solve those problems, and it does so in a way that later on, when I do want to go and run ads to open up the floodgates to my funnel, I can turn this quick worksheet I'm about to show you into a detailed targeting campaign for an ad set, or even copy for a series of email. And this is going to be one of the most, I would say, versatile, flexible, and ultimately important documents that you will have in your marketing arsenal. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so you guys see here on my screen the client avatar guide, the avatar builder worksheet. This is a really quick document, just about 15 questions. I put this together from a lot of different marketers that I've been following over the years. Everyone has some, version of this, and so I feel like I've grabbed some of the best questions asked, some of the best things that are being tracked, and put it together in one document for you guys. And this is the same one that I use whenever I'm starting a new campaign. I go through this thing and I copy the document, answer the questions, deliver it to my team, and we go through it together before we start to run stuff. So let's dive right in. So this works for anything. If you're a roofer or a home service provider, this works phenomenally for that. Remodeler, real estate agents, insurance agents. If you're a marketer trying to get other businesses to find success with their marketing online, this is excellent for you too. But regardless of what you're going to plug into this thing, just be consistent across the board and try to get as much detail down as you can. I'm going to fill this out right now for phone sites so you can see kind of the idea of what I'm talking about here. So what is the biggest result I can help a business or person achieve? And you might want to think about this a little bit. If you have the AI writer, I highly recommend grabbing the content rephraser or the product description off of there. If you want an idea of how to do that, let me just get us over to phonesites.com/AI. Let's create a new project. We'll call this Phone Sites Client Avatar. If you guys have not gotten the AI writer, this is a great opportunity to see what it does on this video as well. I'm going to click on create a new item inside of a project, and I want the product description. And so in this case, phone sites, landing page, you can just type landing pages built from phone, easily generate leads, send follow-up emails, AI, written copy, and let's just see what comes up. So the results are going to be populated here. You're going to get about 5 of them for each ones. The phone sites or landing pages built from negative. Well, I like this. You just minus the first sentence. Free white paper request them or contact you for more information. This is actually excellent. It's great at following up prospects after they convert. We use AI written copy that sounds like human writing to help maximize conversions on this page. Actually, these are all phenomenal. This one is a little off, about 90% there, so we can make some changes. So all you have to do is take a picture of what you want it to look like. Not necessarily that. You just have to write a few words. You know what I like? I like the first sentence of this and the rest of this. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this, go back over here. I'm going to take the second half of this. I'm going to get kind of finagly with this real quick. I'm going to paste that. Boom. I love that. This is the biggest result I can help people achieve, right? So that's a great use case for the AI writer, because this is a lot of words, a lot of ideas that I wouldn't have been able to come up with in this time frame. And I think this is expertly written, in my opinion. Okay, so describe the favorite client you've ever had that you want more of. Well, I don't want to name any names, but the idea of who we like to work with is an SMB, a small to medium-sized business, who wants to accelerate their business online, but doesn't have the coding, design skills or time needed to build websites for every offer. Similarly, they don't have the copywriting skills to generate high quality leads. These are very important. So what I do want is an SMB, a small to medium sized business, doesn't have coding, design skills, or the time to build websites for every offer they have. That's why Phone Sites excels. Maybe they're out in the field, so I can type in out in the field, build sites from phone. If you are a homeowner, I mean, if you service homeowners, if you're a remodeling company or a construction company, you can say something like, a $1.2 million home that we did last year that had was right in the path of certain hailstorms, and they were quick on their insurance claim filing, and so you can write it out like that. Get as detailed as you can for who this client is. I'm not going to write out a specific client. This is more of a general thing, but for you guys filling this out for yourselves, take the time and remember back to the best deal you ever closed. And if you want more of those kinds of deals, write out what happened in those deals, who that person was, what you remember, like was it sunny or rainy that day. Okay, so the biggest problem the ideal client has, in my case, it's lack of online business in an increasingly online world, right? What frustrates my ideal client the most, and with this, what's the biggest problem we have? We can get into some detail with that too. The lack of leads is forcing them to spend resources on door knocking, cold calling that inevitably hurt their business reputation more than it helps its bottom line. Right? Go into some detail with this too. What frustrates your client the most? Okay. Well, in this case, it's going to be complicated website builders, do nothing marketers, and buying leads from online marketplaces, right? What are the 4 to 5 steps to get them to achieve success and get results? Well, in this case, it's start a trial, then build your first site, set up your follow-up, watch the training, market your site. If you're a real estate agent, the 4 to 5 steps to get them to list their home would be decide on a list date, decide on a price, staging, any repairs that are needed. If you're doing, remodeling, it's, agree to the terms, get a review of the roof, file a claim with the insurance company, or pick your materials. provide an estimate, everything you have to do to get them to achieve success and get results, right? What keeps our perfect client awake at night? This is like a somewhat general thing, but I want you to think of a specific series of concerns that this general group of people will face. So if you are dealing with, again, homeowners who property sellers, right? If you're doing market, if you're a real estate agent trying to market to sellers, what's one of the things that's keeping them awake at night? Well, what if the market tanks and they lose all this equity they built up? So they need something sold quickly. What if they sell it for less than it's worth and they don't capitalize on the full, benefit of, what if they lose money on the deal working with you? That kind of a thing. Those are the things. Those are the objections. Realistically, that's the root of the objections that you'll face in sales, is the concerns, the fears, the doubt, right? And so, what keeps our client awake at night? It would be their competition eating their lunch because they were slow getting to the digital marketing table. That's a huge one, right? And that's a reason to this is the main reason why somebody would work with phone sites, is because they want to increase their market share using digital marketing tools. That's like the only reason, right? And because we're a digital marketing tool company, we're a software company. Same exact thing here with what you're doing. What humiliates your perfect client? It would be, let's think about this. If you are like a roofer seeing a roofing sign for a competing company next or on your street without your neighbor ever having spoken to you for a quote, that's a hard one. Another one is, I would say, not being able to pay or give jobs to your team because other companies are pulling in all the leads. And lastly, it would be, overpaying for leads, so they are only overpaying for leads, so your client is only making a third of what they could be. Stuff like that. Go into detail with each one of these. What is the cost of staying where they are right now? I would say the cost of staying where you are is the opportunities lost and ultimately given to others who take action, right? That's a huge one. What is their most urgent, pressing crisis they have to have solved right away? The real pain they're facing, the thing they need fixed immediately. This is tying back to Ryan's whole thing of don't surface sell. Don't, address like, they need more leads. Yeah, sure. Like everyone needs more leads. Oh, this client needs a new roof. Like, yeah, they need a new roof. Why? Right? So, in this case, are we, is it a home seller? And again, I'm going into real estate and home services like a lot. So we'll say like, is this an insurance agent who, an insurance client, someone who needs a life insurance policy, for example, that, essentially protects their family. So the most urgent pressing crisis is that this person doesn't have a safety net in case something happens. What's the most pressing thing? GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. What's the most pressing crisis for a business owner who needs leads? The baby that they've built is going to inevitably go by the wayside unless they do something to make a change to adapt to the new world, right? What does your perfect client want more than anything else? Again, this just ties back into number one. You don't have to, go in further detail. Just reword what you've already said. And if you don't want to do that or you don't know how to do that, you can just grab this text here, go to the AI writer. I'm going to back up here. go to the AI writer and go to the content rephraser. Okay. Tone of voice, I would say, engaging, sarcastic, creative. This is actually really cool because you can tell it what you want to sound like, and it'll reword the copy to, be that, right? And it'll give you a few versions of that. So, and again, so copying this, I mean, even if it's not engaging, let's say, encouraging, right? And just see the difference in how the copy is when you write, so our site is designed to help, you created this, copy this, go over here to answer the question. And again, that was way faster than anything that I was doing. So let's see, that goes here. Explain what you would do in the situation, share what you would do, not how you would do it. So in this case, don't write things like, build a landing page, write emails, so I would say, shift mindset from belly to belly sales to one to many sales, right? That's one thing that I would do if I was in their situation. Instead of one-to-one, belly-to-belly, cold calling, try to find a way to sell to the masses or just to a larger demographic of people, right? Develop digital assets and marketing to streamline lead generation. I would hire the required staff to run the deals profitably. That's a sales team, that could be a processor, that could be anything. And focus on growing the business, not working in it, right? What is the biggest mistake our perfect client is making right now related to the problem that we solve? In real estate, waiting too long. Same with insurance, interestingly enough. In home renovation, stuff like that, it's going with the cheapest bid that they find because that's the most expensive one in the long run. So the biggest mistake our client is making right now is pretending that the online marketplace is either insignificant or not worth investing in. What does our perfect client complain about when they're with their friends? I would say not enough work, not enough good work. That's high-paying jobs. I would say not enough brand recognition, so people don't know who you are. Oh man, I wish more people would just give me a call, So, and this is something that, like, go grab a beer with someone in this business you want to talk to and just sit there and listen to what they have to say. Go find an insurance agent and say, hey man, I want to take you to a beer, not really to, do anything other than just to pick your brain. I have 15 questions I got to ask. We don't have to go through all of them. We don't have to answer all of them, whatever. But this is something that's really good because you'll get their notes on their perspective that you can plug into your AI writer and get really good copy out of this. And then name and link to the four most relevant competitors. In this case, I would say for any agency, it'd be the other ones in their market. For any roofers, it'd be the one that comes to mind. That sign in someone else's yard that should have been yours. That you're like, how'd they do that? On ours, it would be like the more complicated landing page builders that have like all the bells and whistles that nobody needs. That's just my opinion on it, but you would write these here and then save this. So go here, file, and download. You can download it in any format, or you can just save it as it is right now. But keep this around because as you work on this is going to help you develop your messaging. It's going to develop your targeting. It's going to realistically develop your culture as it pertains to who the client you want to work with is and what they believe in. It's going to be for training your team, right? Because this is all stuff that your team needs to know, especially your sales team. And and a lot more than that too. So I'm going to provide a link to this in the comments. You guys just go and grab this and fill this one out. And if you want, for fun, just submit it right here in the comments, and then we can look into it. And you know, if you have any questions or need any guidance, you can reach out, and we'll get it squared away for you. But I think this video has ran more than long enough. I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch it. I hope it was as much fun for you to watch as it was for me to record, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.